Hey all, this is going to be a basic guide on how to build and use Xiangling. This guide will not be very in-depth. If you wish for a more detailed guide, I recommend checking out either Zlice or Xiox. They will most likely have a more detailed guide. But enough said, let's get to the guide. Firstly, Xiangling is an off-field 4-star pyro support and applicator, who rivals a lot of the current 5-star characters despite being in the game at launch. Xiangling's damage mainly revolves around her burst, or Q, and a bit of her skill, or E. But let's go over all of her talents first, and know which to focus on. Normal attack. Xiangling's normal attack consists of 5 attack sequences, dealing physical damage equal to a % of her attack. This is the talent to prioritize the least, despite it being one of the fastest normal attack sequences in the game. Skill. Xiangling's skill, E, summons the stove god Guoba. Guoba periodically breathes fire for 4 instances, dealing AoE pyro damage, again equal to a % of Xiangling's attack to the closest enemy. This talent is more required to level up than her normal attack. Burst. Xiangling's burst, or Q, makes her spin her polearm around her, unleashing the Pyronator. Upon activation, she will do 3 hits that do pyro damage, then it will do constant pyro damage whenever her Pyronator hits an enemy. This lasts for 10 seconds. All of the damage is based off a % of Xiangling's attack. Passives. Xiangling's base passive gives a 12% chance to make a second dish when cooking an attack boosting dish. Her first and second passive ascension talents both revolve around Guoba, with the first making Guoba drop a chili pepper at the end of his duration. When picked up, increases that a character's attack by 10%. The second ascension passive just increases Guoba's range by 20%. Constellations. Xiangling's constellations are C1, crispy outside, tender inside. Enemies hit by Guoba have their pyro resistance reduced by 15% for 6 seconds. C2, oil meets fire. Xiangling's last hit in her normal attack sequence applies the implode status onto the enemy for 2 seconds. Then an explosion will occur, dealing AoE pyro damage equal to 75% of Xiangling's attack. C3, deep fry, increases her burst by 3 levels. C4, slow bake. Pyronator's duration is increased by 40%, so it goes up to 14 seconds instead of 10 seconds. C5, Guoba mad. Her elemental skill is increased by 3 levels. C6, condensed Pyronator, plus 15% pyro damage bonus for all party members for the duration of Pyronator. Out of these, C4 is her best constellation for the ult duration increase, followed by her C1 for the pyro res shred against enemies when hit by Guoba. Weapons, artifacts, teams. Best weapons. Now when it comes to weapons, Xiangling can utilize pretty much all polearms, but here are some of the ones that she can use best. Engulfing Lightning is one of Xiangling's best weapons to use, as it gives high ER, 55.1% at level 90, and an attack bonus for every ER over 100% up to an 80% increase, plus 30% extra ER after using an elemental burst. Staff of Scarlet Sands is also quite good, especially if you're leaning into a more EM based Xiangling. The staff gives a 44.1% crit rate bonus at level 90. It also gives the equipment character 52% of their EM as attack bonus, plus an additional 28% of the EM as attack bonus when their elemental skill hits an enemy with a max of 3 stacks. Staff of Homer is her next best weapon as just a stat stick, giving 66.2% crit damage at level 90, plus an additional attack bonus based on 0.8% of the wielder's max HP. This is also further increased by an additional 1% of max HP when the wielder's HP is below 50%. The catch is Xiangling's best free-to-play weapon, as it gives 45.9% ER and increases burst damage by 16% and burst crit rate by 6% Do note, you do have to fish for this weapon, so it can be quite lengthy to get it and its refinements. These other weapons shown here will also work extremely well on Xiangling. As for artifacts, 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate is probably her best, as its 2-piece just gives ER, and its 4-piece gives elemental burst damage bonus for the extra ER that you have. 4-piece Gilded is probably best, again if you're leaning into a more EM based Xiangling, as its 2-piece increases EM, and its 4-piece increases attack or EM based on the same type or different type of elemental characters in your party. 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames is just good for any pyro DPS, as its 2-piece increases pyro damage bonus, and its 4-piece increases elemental pyro based reactions. Noblesse Obliged is best if you're leaning for a full support Xiangling, as its 2-piece increases elemental burst damage, and its 4-piece, upon using an elemental burst, increases all party members' attack or damage by a certain percent. These will all work really well depending on how you wish to play Xiangling. Also, 4-piece The Exile is a good 4-star artifact set to use if you don't have access to these pieces yet. The best main stats to aim for are the following. The Flower and Feather will always be the same at flat HP and attack respectively. Sands, the best main stats to aim for are attack percent, EM or ER, depending on what you think you need more of or your desired playstyle. The Goblet will always most likely be pyro damage bonus, and the Circlet will be crit rate or crit damage depending on what you think you need more of. For substats, Xiangling is very needy as you can't really skip out on some stats, but here they are and the amount you should aim for. Now, ER is what you should try to prioritize the most, as Xiangling has a high burst cost and can't generate her own elemental particles and has to rely on another unit in her party. But you should aim for around 200 to 250 energy recharge. For crit rate and crit damage, you should always aim for a 1 to 2 ratio, being around 60 to 75% crit rate to 120 to 150% crit damage. Attack percent. Attack percent isn't really needed, but it is still needed because it is attack, if that makes sense. But you should aim for around 1.2 to 1.5k attack. EM is generally always needed, even if you're not leaning for an EM based Xiangling, as it helps with reaction damage, and you should always aim for around 100 to 150. Onto teams. I will just show the character icons and have what the team is, as well as the character substitutes. Hello and welcome to the actual part where I'm building Xiangling. I hope that guide was alright and explained enough without being too overwhelming. I know I'm not the best at explaining, but I hope it helped some of you guys, or at least everyone who watched it. And now, if you notice from what I showed, what are you staring at? Grab, yoink. This is my team. Do note, I want to build Lenyon as an on-field driver when I get there. But until then, this is a Xiangling showcase, and we have to do our remaining 3 runs of Emblem to get no good artifacts. So with that said, let's go. First, okay. We love that. Suppose let's not wait and see how this rolls. I do have a better feather, but this is also good. HP percent, I kind of saw that coming. But we did get this feather right here, which I'm hoping rolls good after. Right, I don't need any of these. Wait, were those all HP? HP. Let me guess, HP? Defense. So close. Oh my god. Wow. Prime reactions from me. Oh my god. Ah yes, and off cam, I managed to get a whole one extra refinement for the catch because I dislike getting those fish. I'm going to be honest, they don't like to spawn. Let's go. Gaming, right here. Watch this. None of them locked. Geo. Okay, last one. God tier circlet. Never mind. Ay ay ay. I will be leveling up this because what could go wrong? The crit rate is nice, but I have no crit damage, and that's 21. Oh, and that's 14 crit damage. Come back to that. I don't think I have any better, because this is good. I could. No, that attack's too much to give up. Okay, let's just take this up, hoping for. If I get crit damage here, I could swap that I could swap the feather over if this is crit damage. But that defense percent is laughing at me right now. Because watch this, it'll be defense percent and it'll laugh at me. I'm gaming. Okay. Let's look at this. 50. I lose 7. 7 crit damage is what I lose. This is a risky circlet. So it's gonna be nice then. Crit damage. Okay. That's still good, but you didn't hear me. Okay. Crit damage. Okay. We're a little confused. Okay, attack percent. Motherfucker. Okay, what if I swap this over? What does ER look like? What does the ER look like? 240. No, wait, that. Oh, yeah, 242. I thought that was incoming healing bonus. 47. Okay. I think that's good. I need to get her over 100 crit damage. Okay, wait. I level this up. It rolls only into crit damage. Ready? Watch this. Just wait a second. Yeah, ready? Watch this. Everything in crit damage. Oh! Come on, continue that trend. Continue that trend. Continue it. Okay, but oh my god. So that's increased. Okay, but we lose 14. Okay, so let's just look at this. 242. So we put this on, then we level this up, and it will roll very nicely for us, right? That last one will be crit rate. Attack percent, that's fine, but we went up in the ER because we leveled it up. 236. Went lower. Okay, last one, circlet. The ER is gonna clutch here. Ready? God, I'm out of 4-star artifacts. Ready? Watch this. ER energy recharge. Damn it. I mean, yeah. I don't really think there's anything we can do. Nah, because I... Yeah, no. Okay, but she did improve. Kind of. So that'll be go up to 55. Then if I get the next refinement, that'll be 57.1. And then I don't know what max refinement does. Can I check from here, or does it not tell me? It doesn't tell me. Cool. I'm gonna go like this. I'm just gonna bap, bap. Ow. Okay. 12. Okay, 12? What if I pick this up? Okay, it's hitting 12s on crits. Okay. Test out. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. I didn't swap back to Shincho. Alright, we will test full damage in a second. Alright, what we're gonna do is Boba, Fly Hydro, ow, Benny, oh like that. That was pretty good, and then let's check. Yeah, ER didn't really get hit by any ER, unfortunately. Okay, can I abandon this challenge? No, I can't. Rude. Okay, that I am probably coping hard when I say this because I have never probably used Xiangling, but I think that is decent for someone who farmed for a week. Crits weren't often, but it's basically just a 50% chance, honestly. Okay, so for what it's worth, I felt like that was alright, I guess. So, I guess thank you for watching this far. Let me know what you thought of the guide. Oh, hello, Gorba. Let me know what you thought of the guide. Give me any tips to improve on, what features I should look into more, and stuff like that. But that statue behind me that waypoint behind me looks like it's not even lit up, but it is, trust me. But thank you all so much for watching. Give me some things I can improve on, stuff I should talk about more, anything like that. But thank you all for watching this far. Xiangling has improved by a bit, not the best, but again, you can't really control artifacts for a week. So it means you have to be on this game a lot to get improvements. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.